Hey, this is Florian again from Life Science Mentor, and this is another video. Welcome to my to another day of the 180-day challenge. Become an idea machine, and today I'm talking about 10 times when I had to laugh out loud. So it's your opportunity to see that a German can be funny, maybe, maybe not. You be the judge. Don't just throw your tomatoes at the screen. Kindly let me know. But so. Actually, um, actually, I started the one of the funniest scenes that I ever saw on TV on YouTube, and was the scene with Joe Pesci, which is one of my favorite actors, and Ray Liotta from Goodfellas, where Joe Pesci tells a joke and Ray laughs and then Joe Pesci just goes more less funny, and you're laughing. You think I'm funny. You think I'm funny guy. Funny, yeah. Is that what you think? Funny, funny how? Explain to me. And he makes a friend jump through all these hoops to explain how he's funny. And if you ever want to diffuse a joke, somebody that jokes, just invite them to explain. Don't laugh about it. Just invite them to explain why they think that joke is funny, and they start sweating. Because it's very unexpected. You expect the others to laugh, and you sense that there's something that the other person may own you if they want you to explain the jokes. Which is why this episode is also a bit difficult for me, because I cannot really transmit all the reasons why I found something funny, right? So I'll try my best, but you can check out all my favorite 10 moments or scenes from TV, from cartoons, from other opportunities of life, and maybe you can enjoy them a little bit too. All right, number one was one of the best pranks from The Office, the American version, where Jim Halpert always pranks Dwight Schrute, and there was one scene which is very fitting for Christmas, where he wraps Dwight's desk in Christmas paper, and Dwight thinks he can just quickly unwrap it, and you can watch yourself what happens. Don't want to take away the joke, but I found this particularly endearing also because the whole desk is, Jim wrapped Dwight's whole desk and the computer keyboard and everything else in Christmas paper, right? So actually, you know what? I think here live here talking to you, I just understood that Jim hadn't actually wrapped Dwight's whole desk in gift paper. Those were probably just like some props. Anyway, whatever it is, check out the video. I just leave that moment of zen in because it's live and I don't want to doctor around endlessly on my videos. So just enjoy. The second, I still enjoyed the prank. Either way, it's great. The second scene I really had to laugh out loud was a South Park episode where Randy is on this show. We had it in Germany. I don't know the American name. Wheel of Fortune, right? You have to guess words from combination of letters on the screen. There's like 3 letters missing, and then you have to complete the word. And Randy gets the category people that annoy us, and he chooses the right letters so that it says N of GGERS. And you see him swallowing and thinking he knows the word, doesn't quite want to say it, but then the clock counts down and he finally comes out with niggers. And the whole and while you hear the meh from the trumpet that says, from the buzzer that says his answer was wrong because it was actually naggers, not niggers, naggers. The whole room falls silent, and Randy just with one completely unthoughtful action brings up the whole nation against himself. It's a wonderful take on political correctness, and I recommend highly to watch the whole episode, but that's just the funniest scene from it, or one of the funniest scenes. That's my number 2. Number three, there are several from Simpsons episodes, and I remember when The Simpsons started to air in Germany, beginning of the 90s. That was my time when I was playing in the orchestra, and we had a great friendship with a couple buddies of mine. And for this orchestra, we met every Sunday, and practice, and our performance. And then we just decided to also meet another weekend. So we met like one weekend per month, and so then we met another weekend in between, just not to play in an orchestra, but to just watch The Simpsons. We had a Simpsons marathon. Ordered pizza, and how old was I then? I was like 17, 18 years old, and it was like heaven. It was like awesome. I love nothing more than The Simpsons, and just watching that whole weekend with like-minded people who also love The Simpsons as much as I did. And there's one episode in season 4, the April Fool's Day, where Bart fools his father with a well-shaken can of beer, and you see how Homer sits on his sofa and just eats chips that Bart has put there for him, and Bart waits for Homer to go to the fridge and pick up the beer can, which Bart actually had taken shortly before into a store, like into a mechanic store where we would put it on the machine and really shake it through. So you see the can vibrating while Bart puts it in the fridge, and then Homer sits on the sofa and doesn't go to the kitchen fridge, so the tension builds up. Bart's, oh, damn it, I need to do something. You see how on TV they do lots of beer commercials, and Homer just sits there munching his chips and, oh, beer would be nice, but what do you know? And it's too lazy to get up. And then Bart cranks up the air conditioning until it's so hot that almost everything melts in that house. And then finally Homer goes to the kitchen fridge and picks up the beer, opens it, and while Bart can still say, "Happy April Fool's, Joe," the whole house blows up in a sheer bombastic explosion. Watch the clip. It's awesome. It's one of the best pranks ever. Number 4. With my grandmother. We just came back from watching Back to the Future 3. Yeah, I had a cool grandmother. And I told her this one, or showed her this one cartoon where basically 2 astronauts were coming back from their spacewalk and standing in front of a closed airlock. And then one astronaut says to the other, "What do you mean you forgot the keys inside?" We had to really laugh out loud about that one. Number 5 is it's a Gary Larson comic. Gary Larson strip. If you know Moby Dick, Herman Melville's book, then you know how it starts. Call me Ishmael. And in this cartoon, you see Herman Melville sitting at his typewriter, and then there's like lots of crunched paper laying next to it, and the trash can. It's like, call me Bob, call me James, call me David, call me Mike. And so I think that the cartoon is called Writer's Block. And yeah, that is exactly the problem with Writer's Block, right? Because you think you have to put on a perfect sentence, right? And that's why you don't get ahead. Very well illustrated. Then Monty Python's Meaning of Life, the organ donor. So basically they just come by, some dude in his apartment, and just 2 doctors stand in front of his door and introduce themselves to him. We're looking for organ donors, and we are told that you're a liver donor. And the guy says, "Well, yeah, but well, actually, I still need my liver." And then just pin him against the wall, take his wallet, and say, "Aha, here we got your liver donor card." And so then drag him to the next room, while he still says, wait, but I thought I have to be dead. And they say, like, "Yeah, don't worry, nobody survives, nobody's ever survived our donor transplantations." So yeah, watch that. I have the clip attached. We in my blog article, we watched it in school. I think in 10th grade or 9th grade, at the last day before summer holidays. And for whatever reason, our Latin teacher was not too pleased of the movie. I think we pulled a fast one on him by not telling him what the movie actually was. But it was one of the funniest one of the funniest times in my life. That watching that whole movie, and that scene was one of the best. Number 7, I was just out on Saturday with an old friend of mine, Torge. He sometimes visits from Germany he has some business trips in the US, and he visits and stops in New York, and we drank some tequilas in a Mexican bar, and he had this sketch, 5 Stages of Alcohol Consume, by a German entertainer with the name Jürgen von der Lippe. And I checked, it's on YouTube, but you only have the German version. And so I decided to just maybe tell the sketch right here. Never done stand-up comedy before, so bear with me. But this is about the 5 stages of alcohol consume. Stage 1, a normal working day, let's say Wednesday. You go to the pub, you met with some friends there, and now it's 11 and you decide to call it a night. Because you need to get up early in the morning, and then somebody says, hey, next round's on me. And you tell yourself, well, okay, as long as I still get my 7 hours of sleep, and probably be fine. Stage 2, midnight. You just had 4 more beer. And you just talked agitatedly and passionately for the last 20 minutes about artificial lawn. You were against it. And you really want to go home now. But there's this little angel sitting on your right shoulder, and it's exactly telling you, come on, you have to go up in the morning, you should go home, you have to get to sleep, because you have to get to work in the morning. But then, there's this little devil on the left shoulder, and it tells you, no, don't go, it's just so funny right now. And besides, when will we ever come together like we are right now? And besides, as long as you get 6 hours of sleep, it's okay. Stage 3, 1 a.m. You stop drinking beer in favor of tequilas! You just debated again, passionately, about artificial lawn. You were for it. Furthermore, you think the waitress is the most beautiful person in the world. And while you think how nice it is, you feel like you could not only embrace the world, you could redeem the whole world. On your way to the bathroom, you just pay the stranger sitting at the corner of the bar another beer. Just because you like his face so much. And while you're in the bathroom, you have to start laughing hysterically. Because there's a new sentence on the wall that you didn't know yet. It says, better in the Empress than Imperator. I give you a couple minutes to let that sink in. Stage 4, 2 a.m., last call. You order a bottle of Coke and a bottle of rum. You feel like artificial lawn. On the way to the bathroom, you want to beat up the guy sitting at the bar just because you hate his face. While you wash your hands, you make the mistake of looking in the mirror. You say, who's that guy? And you shove him aside. While the guy tumbles down, you say, thank God. Stage 5. You resolve to go home after you've been kicked out of the bar. At home, your gazing view falls upon a quarter full bottle of whiskey, and you immediately consume it. Then, instead of going to bed, now you decide to put on the old Leonard Cohen record that you haven't heard in 18 years. While you stand there like this, with a bottle in your left hand, you sway to the music. And you decide to sing a little bit. Suzanne takes your hand, takes you down to the river. And while streams of tears run down your cheeks, you know one thing. You are not drunk. Maybe a little tipsy. A little bit. And while the neighbors pound with a broomstick from below onto your floor, you realize you're in perfect physical and spiritual condition. Really good. That's why you take a bottle of wine and decide to go through your old photo album. And while you do that, you realize that a girlfriend that you haven't seen for 5 years, you want to call her. You only know that she now has 2 kids and is married to a police officer who actually takes the phone call at 3:30 a.m. in the morning and reacts a little bit funny as you yell into the receiver, "I love you! Remember, I will adopt the children, asshole!" You decide to write her a letter. Nah, not a letter. Much better. A whole collection of poems. And you will not wait for the post to deliver it. You will deliver it yourself. You will walk there, your collection of poems under your arms. You will beat up the police officer husband, and then you will take her 2 children and elope with her to New Zealand, or at least Canada. And while you still think about the best strategy for this commando, with a bottle of chartreuse and a bottle of gin, a merciful unconsciousness envelops you, and you drift away. You don't go to work the next day. You wake up at 2 p.m. shivering, laying on the floor of your apartment, with the worst hangover of the century, and decide, never, ever alcohol again. And this is the time when they perform the sketch that the audience normally says the last word. So, people know that. So that was that sketch, and I really had to laugh out loud. It's really one of the funniest things. Thanks, Todd, if you're watching this. Nice sketch. All right, back to the 10 times I had to laugh out loud. There's now time number 8. When I watched The Bridge Guard during Monty Python and the Holy Grail. The whole movie is a persiflage on the search for the Holy Grail, the King Arthur saga, and they come to this bridge gnome who asks them questions. And watch it for yourself. The whole scene is pretty funny. So I had to laugh out loud again. They're one of my favorite scenes. And now number 9, there was a story by T.C. Boyle, a short story called Carnal Knowledge, and it's about a guy who wants to please a woman who is like full on leftist vegetarian, and he wants to impress her by liberating turkeys from a turkey farm. While he does that, little does he know that just like a couple hours later, all these turkeys that are now free run over the street and are run over by a truck. And I found this so fitting and so funny. We should not. I mean, you tinker with things and want to do a good service, and a bit of a cynical view, right? Because maybe it's good that you try to free factory farmed animals, right? But he did it to impress a girl, and that was not him, and so he does this, which he should not have tinkered with, and then those turkeys die anyway. I found that pretty fitting. Maybe I have a bit of cynical dark side of humor, but I really had to laugh about that. It was just so surreal. It was nice. Then there is a sketch that I recently saw, which is kind of funny, where a guy tries to pick up a banknote. I think it's a British comedian, Dave Allen. It's a bit of an older clip. So basically, a guy sees a 10-pound note under a car and he tries to pick it up, and he can't. It's trapped. So he decides to wait until the car owner comes back and drives the car away, right? So then he sees the cafe across the street, so waits there. You gotta watch the clip to see the ending. But what is especially funny about it is that he dies a 10,000 death, and like his face, you see it in his face how he like waits for this owner of the car to drive away, and then somebody else, some other people come by and look down, so he fears that they pick up the note. And I found it funny that he stays in this cafe and waits for the owner to take the car away, right? And dies 1,000 deaths on the way to that happening. I have the clip attached on my blog. And then number 11, I guess we're at number 11. I have really had 11 times when I laughed out loud. It's a German clip. It's a parody on Sesame Street. It's called Bernie and Ert. I had some clips of that already before on my blog. I have attached 2 again. And it's about Santa Claus. Very fitting. And there's another episode about drugs. So watch it. It's pretty cool. It's a very successful comedy show in Germany, or a bit of a comedy show. Bernie and Ert. And Bernie and Ert both have just one eye and are likely gay. And the whole show is really super funny. All right, that's it. I hope I could make you laugh with some of the clips I've attached. And if you like this, if you enjoyed this video, like it, tell your friends about it. So we have more people that watch with us. And I am happy about seeing you again tomorrow. Leave me a note. I'll answer every comment. And so far, enjoy the Christmas holidays and see you again tomorrow. Bye.